Okay, we'll give it time for people to come along, I suppose. Hello, welcome along to the stream. Excuse me. Let me know if you can hear me all right. So, hello, welcome along. I'll get started now. Sorry, we are a little bit behind schedule today. Obviously, I tried to start at 3 o'clock, but today we're a tiny bit behind schedule. But we are here today for a very exciting stream. It is this stream is basically to celebrate the launch of my Patreon. I've joined Patreon. I've got a Patreon now. And I thought it might be a good idea to do a live stream like this to sort of launch the thing and to tell you more about it, and hopefully to show you a little bit of what kind of stuff you can expect to see if you are interested in joining. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Patreon itself and about the membership that I'm offering and the benefits that you'll get for that. And then I'm also going to actually show you one of the main benefits, which is going to be behind the scenes access. So I'm actually going to do some editing in today's stream and show you how I edit my videos, how I put them together and polish them up ready for release. And again, this is something that will be a regular feature over on Patreon. So if you enjoy what you see in today's stream, you might want to consider going over to Patreon and join in there. And there is a 7-day free trial, so you don't have to pay anything straight away. We'll get into all of that in a minute. I'll tell you all about the monetary side of it in a minute, because that's not really the important thing. The important thing is that I have now got this platform set up to give you an opportunity to support me in what I do, if that's something that you want to do. And of course, it's an entirely optional thing. If you don't want to follow me, you don't have to. The only real thing that you're going to be missing out on is the behind the scenes stuff. That's really the main draw of the Patreon. So I'll just switch over to my other camera so you can see my desktop. Oh, there we go. Nice bit of recursion going on there. Let me just... Oh, there I am. Hello. So this is my screen share. Let me just move this out of the way. And I'll start by showing you the Patreon page itself. That's probably a good place to start. We'll just bring this up. So here's the page. As you can see, it literally just went live just before the stream started. I finally published the page, so it is, you can go over there right now and support if that's something that you want to do. Once again, we'll talk more about the benefits in a minute. The membership is $5 a month, which is about £4.50. And there is a 7-day free trial, so if you want to try it out for a week, see what kind of stuff's on offer, and then decide if it's something that you want to contribute to, then that option's there for you. But you can see here, although you might not actually be able to see here because the text's quite small, but I'll read out to you what the benefits are and what you can expect to see, and then, as I say, we'll dive into actually showing you what you can expect to see. So first and foremost, I want the Patreon to be a behind-the-scenes kind of thing, right? So everything that I do behind the scenes, I want to be able to share with you on Patreon. I want to be able to show you the recording process, the editing process, preparing the graphics and stuff like that for all of my videos, and basically just taking you through the whole process of how I make a video. Now, obviously, that's not going to be for every single video. I'm not going to show you every single step of the process for every single video, because that would take an exponential amount of time. But for various videos, you'll get to see bits and pieces, right? The one thing that I will be doing for every single video is uploading the uncut footage to Patreon, so the raw, unedited video. You will get to see that on Patreon. It will be uploaded at the same exact time as the final edit of the video is uploaded on TikTok. And that will be for every single video. But the other stuff, the other behind the scenes elements are going to be a little less regular, just because, again, you know, to make that for every single video, I'd be spending quite a lot of time. I'd be like working around the clock on that. So that's the main thing. That's the main draw of it, is the behind the scenes content. A couple of other perks that I will be offering. First of all, obviously, you will get a shout out on TikTok Live. I think that's, you know, fairly standard stuff for Patreons to do, is to shout out their members. So obviously, if you do follow, you will get a shout out on TikTok Live. And you'll also get access to the TikTok Live archive. So I've actually uploaded all of my previous live streams to YouTube as unlisted videos. And if you follow, if you become a member, you'll get access to that playlist, and you'll be able to see every single one of my live streams, start to finish, which, you know, might be something that you are interested in. And that, for the time being, is pretty much all the benefits. There is going to be other stuff eventually, but I'm in the process of sort of working it out. So I'd like to do a Discord, is something that I think could be really great, a members only Discord, but unfortunately that's not something that I could manage by myself, so that would be further down the line. And also I would eventually like to do a premium membership tier to support my hobby content, because as you know, I have quite a lot of hobbies. Most of those hobbies are quite expensive. So it would be nice to have a premium tier eventually if you want to contribute a little bit more towards those hobbies. But for now, we just got the basic $5 tier, and those are the benefits that you'll get from it. Also, one thing I do have to mention, if you go to my TikTok bio now, there is a subscription option. Please do not use it. Please do not subscribe to me through TikTok. I am not offering any benefits for TikTok subscriptions. I didn't even want to do it. TikTok is very sort of scummy about this, to be brutally honest. Once you get past 1,000 followers, you become eligible to apply for the TikTok subscriber program. But the thing is, once you've expressed interest in that program, you cannot back out of it. Like, once you've clicked, you know, offer subscriptions, you can't, like, unoffer them, which is a really scummy thing to do. The only way you can get that removed is to directly email a support team at TikTok, and they don't provide you an email address to do that. So yeah, I have sort of accidentally set up subscribers on TikTok. So I will say again, please do not subscribe to me on TikTok. There will be no benefits. You will not get anything for subscribing to me on TikTok. If you want to subscribe to me, please do it on Patreon. But yeah, that's that. I think that's all there is to say about that. So, so I guess we'll get into the main bulk of the stream, which is going to be me actually showing you what you can expect to see if you choose to become a member. So let's move this out of the way, and you'll see here I've got my video editing software open. So this is OpenShot. Obviously there are many different video editing softwares out there. OpenShot is what I use. It's free, it's very basic, but for the kind of editing that I need to do, it's perfect. It's got the basic functionality. You know, all I really do for most of my videos is sync up the video and audio and add in some background music and a couple of graphics, and that's pretty much it. So I don't need anything super powerful to do that. OpenShot is pretty much, you know, does everything I need. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and recorded tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video is going to be like the official TikTok, the official Patreon announcement. I've recorded that just before this stream, and what I'm going to do now is actually edit that video, and you can watch me edit that video live, and that's exactly the kind of thing that you'll get to see if you decide to follow on Patreon. So this should be a nice little taste test of what's to come. So you can see here in this folder I've got most of the materials that I need already gathered. So I'm just going to go ahead and import all of those. You'll have to excuse me just a moment while I mute a couple of people. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like any of my moderators are here right now, so I will have to manually be muting people, so I apologise for that. If the chat does start to get clogged up a bit with spam, I will try and keep an eye on it, but obviously that's on that screen, and this is on, I'm working on the other screen, so I might not see everything, but I will try and keep on top of it. And hopefully some of my mods will join the stream later on and give me a hand with that. Okay, so here's all the materials. As you can see, we got them all in now. You can sort these by video, audio and image, but there's not that many, so we'll just keep them all in one place. The main things that we're going to be needing are the video.mp4. This is what I recorded on my phone, and this is the actual footage itself. And then audio.wav is the sound, which I recorded on this microphone here on my PC. Where am I from? Asks Diet Cock. I'm from Yorkshire. Okay, so, yeah, the thing you may have noticed if you've watched some of my previous live streams is the audio quality on my phone is not particularly great. So what I tend to do is record the video on my phone and then the audio with my computer mic, and then I come on here with OpenShot and sync them up, and, it ends up with, we end up with better audio quality than if I just use my phone. Because, yeah, my phone doesn't have the greatest the greatest microphone in the world. So we got the video here, we got the audio here. First job is going to be to sync those up, and then we can start adding in the other elements, which is going to be the background music, a few graphical elements, stuff like that. And first of all, we have to scale the video to actually fit the frame, because for some reason it never does by default. There we go, that's a bit better. It'll take a couple of seconds for it to render at that resolution, but there we go. Diet Cock followed. Thank you, Diet Cock. Welcome. Someone else followed a little bit ago as well. I'd best go and give them a shout out. Oh, someone sent a gift, but didn't actually follow. So unfortunately, I can't shout you out unless you actually follow, and then I can see what your username is. Oh, we got a few more follows. We got Big Bean Sally, thank you very much. We got X Enrique, thank you, and we got Officer Going 1, thank you very much. Oh, 1 second. Headphone trouble. Sorry about that. No. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah. So just a quick note on my headphones here. They are quite old at this point, and the cable's quite worn, and the USB particularly is quite worn out. So occasionally they'll just disconnect themselves. Hopefully it won't affect anything on your end too much, which is good. But if I ever have to pause for a second to unplug my headphones and plug them back in again, that's why. So anyway, getting back to the video. So we got the audio here. I'll just show the waveform here, which for some reason isn't shown by default. Let me just turn that on. And then, yeah, the first job is just going to be to sync up the audio here with the video. So we'll just play both. Oh, I can't actually hear anything there. So I think that's because my headphones came unplugged. I might have to relaunch OpenShot just for a second. This is why I need some new headphones. Okay. Open that back up. There's going to be a few teething troubles, obviously. I will try and sort those out in future, but I'm not too used to streaming like this. I'm normally just on my phone. But here, let's just see. There we go. I can hear it now.
I started a Patreon.
Okay. I started a Patreon. Okay, so they're quite far out of sync at the moment.
I started a Patreon.
A bit back.
Patreon.
This is always the most tedious bit, syncing up the audio.
Patreon.
But once it's done, it's done. And then we can get on to the
I
part.
started a Patreon.
Okay, a little bit more. What am I doing? Asks K82. I'm editing a video for tomorrow. I've just launched my Patreon, and this is the kind of stuff that you will get to see if you want to follow my Patreon. So this is just kind of a little bit of a taste test of what you'll get as a benefit if you decide to follow a Patreon. And right now I'm trying to sync up the audio.
I started a Patreon.
Okay, we're close there.
I started a Patreon.
We'll have to zoom in a little bit. Apologies if you can hear that motorbike outside.
I started a Patreon.
Not quite. No, other way.
I started a...
You're going to hear this line a lot. Sorry, just got to do a little bit of muting again. Thanks for your input, guys. Much appreciated. That audio is echoing. Yeah, so what's happening is both videos have got sound on them. There's sound on the video clip, and there's also the audio clip separately. Once I've synced them up, I'm going to turn the sound off on the video so that you only hear the audio. So it won't echo once it's done.
I started a Patreon. I started a...
Man, this bit's normally easier. I think it's because you're all watching me.
I started...
Oh, that's close. That's close.
I started a Patreon.
Okay, so I think the video's a tiny bit behind.
I started a...
Yes, oh, we're close there, we're close there.
I started a...
No, too far.
I started a Patreon.
Very close. So I think we can split the beginning off of this. There we go. Bring them in close. And it might just need the tiniest little tweak.
I started a Patreon.
One more time.
I started...
Yeah, so the audio's slightly ahead of the video, so I need to move the audio a tad.
I started a Patreon.
Perfect, perfect, there we go. Okay, so now that that's all synced up, I can cut them both so that they start at the exact same time. And I can then mute the audio on the video. And we should now have perfectly synced audio.
I started a Patreon.
Seems like we got it.
Yes, I finally decided.
Okay, so that is the major job done. The next thing to do is to cut out all the mistakes that I make. So I actually record all of these in one take, and then I cut out all the errors and all the line screw-ups and stuff like that. So my next job is going to be to take a look through and cut out any of those mistakes. And that should reduce the runtime of this video by quite a long way. You can see the clip itself is actually over 4 minutes long, but the video, once it's edited, is just going to be 1 minute. So yeah, there's quite a lot of mistakes there that are going to need to be cut out. So that's going to be the next thing to do.
I started a Patreon.
There's also going to be something else inserted here in between. I've got a little bit of a clip to insert later, but we'll come back to that.
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my capitalist urges and sponge money from my followers. For just $5 a month, you can now become a member of my Patreon and provide direct financial support for me to continue making the videos that I love. But what's in it for you?
Okay, good so far.
First and foremost, you'll be supporting what I do, and satisfaction is its own reward, right? Fine, I'll give you a shout out on TikTok Live. Speaking of TikTok Live, you'll also gain immediate access to my back catalogue of past live streams. Every single stream, in its entirety, in one handy playlist.
So far, so good.
Of course, the biggest benefit to you as a supporter will be exclusive behind-the-scenes.
I'll definitely have to cut out that
in its entirety in one handy playlist.
So what we can do here is slice and keep both sides. So it basically splits the clip into two, and then we just go past the bit that we want to get rid of and adjust the clip like this, pop them back together, and then we should have completely removed any trace of the sniff.
Every single stream in its entirety in one handy playlist. Of course, the biggest benefit to you as a supporter will be exclusive behind-the-scenes access, showcasing...
Good.
Of course, the biggest...
There's our first mistake that we're going to have to cut out.
Of course, the biggest benefit to you as a supporter will be exclusive behind-the-scenes access. Of course, the biggest...
Okay, this line took a few attempts.
Of course, the biggest benefit to you as a supporter will be exclusive behind-the-scenes access, offering you a sneak peek into every stage of the production process.
Okay, that's the good line. So we'll cut it there. And now we can just choose keep right side only. And that gets rid of all the screw-ups, all the misspoken lines there. Give it a second to... Oh dear. Oh, and it's crashed. Now we've done it. This is going exceptionally well, as you can see. Few teething troubles. Hi, my name is Mikey. Editing my YouTube videos is the most difficult part. It's, I wouldn't necessarily say difficult, it's just time consuming, right, is the main problem. Like, it's just tedious. For like a video that's only a minute long, to have to put in quite a lot of time and effort to cut it to the length you know, cut out all the mistakes and stuff like that. None of that saved, so we're going to have to do all that again.
I started a Patreon.
Okay, I saved just after I synced to the audio, so we haven't lost too much progress there. I don't know why it crashed. It doesn't usually. But it might just because I'm streaming at the same time. We'll just quickly
in its entirety
make
in
those
one
edits
handy
again.
playlist.
Okay, so first of all there was the sniff. Let's get rid of that. This is why it's important to save regularly. If you're doing any kind of project like this, save after every single edit. Otherwise, you'll end up having to do lots of stuff again if it crashes.
Stream in its entirety in one handy playlist. Of course, the biggest benefit...
Okay, that's better. And then it was, I believe, here... Oh, save. There we go. Okay, so slice, keep right again, And this time, hopefully, it won't crash. There we go. Pull these back. And hopefully, that should be seamless now.
Stream in its entirety in one handy playlist. Of course, the biggest benefit to you as a supporter will be exclusive behind-the-scenes access, offering you a sneak peek into every stage of the production process.
Good.
Writing, recording, editing, you'll see it all.
So there was quite a big pause there in between lines because I had to
Process.
go back to the script and check what the next line was, so we'll just have to cut that out real quick.
Tom says, how you doing, fella?
I'm doing fine, thanks. How are you? Okay, then shorten this down a little bit, and that should cut out the awkward pause there while I was checking the script.
Sneak peek into every stage of the production process. Writing, recording, editing, you'll see it all.
Oh, a new follower. Who even are you? Followed. Thank you very much. Who even are you? Much appreciated.
Writing, recording, editing, you'll see it.
Okay, actually I did redo that line there, so we need to cut that bit out as well. Oh, another follower. LT followed the live creator. Thank you, LT. Welcome.
Every stage of the production process. Writing, recording, editing, you'll see it all, along with raw, uncut footage of every single video uploaded simultaneously.
Chloe XX followed. Thank you for following, Chloe. Okay,
every
so
stage
the cut here is a little bit jarring.
The production process. Writing.
I could maybe make that a little bit smoother, but I don't think it's too bad.
Peek into every stage of the production process. Writing, recording, editing, you'll see it all, along with raw, uncut footage of every single video uploaded simultaneously with the final TikTok version.
Hi, my name is Mikey. Followed. Thank you for following, Mikey. Welcome. What is this video for? Asks Sideclips. So at the minute I'm editing a video that's going to be coming out tomorrow. I've just launched my Patreon. This video is sort of the Patreon launch video, and this stream is to give you a bit of an idea of what kind of stuff you'll get to see on Patreon if you follow. It's going to be all behind the scenes stuff like this. So this stream is exactly the kind of thing that you will get to see more of if you decide to follow.
With the final TikTok version.
Okay, there's quite a big pause again here that we'll have to cut out because, again, I was checking the script for the next paragraph.
And there you have it.
Okay. So we'll have to cut here. Keep both sides this time. And then scale those back to here.
Footage of every single video uploaded simultaneously with the final TikTok version. And there you have it. $5 a month to support me and my content.
Oh yeah.
And there you have it. $5 a month to support me and my content, and in return...
This line took quite a few takes. Sorry.
And there you have it. $5 a month to support me. And there you have it. $5 a month to support me and my content, and in return a modest selection of benefits. And those benefits will only keep growing. And there you have it. $5 a month to support me and my content.
Okay, I think this next line is the one. So, quite a big piece there that we need to cut out. As you can see, we've just cut out 30 whole seconds there of footage, so the final version is going to be a lot shorter than the uncut version.
Uploaded simultaneously with the final TikTok version. And there you have it.
Perfect. And once again, the uncut version, the 4-minute version that I'm editing right now, the raw version of that will also go up on Patreon tomorrow at the exact same time as the edited version goes on TikTok. So as soon as you see the TikTok version, you can then go over to Patreon and see the unedited version. Who even know you says, God, this seems so long and time consuming. Yeah, it is. You get faster at it with practice. Obviously, I've only been doing it for a couple of months, so I'm still not the fastest in the world at it. But I'm getting the hang of it. It's not too difficult to do. It just takes time.
$5 a month to support me and my content, and in return, a modest selection of benefits. And that list of benefits is only going to keep growing. I'm already considering...
Okay, so there needs to be a cut there. And then, if I'm not mistaken, there is an entire minute here where I just continually get my lines wrong again and again and again. So there's going to be a huge part getting cut out here. Let's just watch and see.
I'm already considering the potential for a members-only Discord and, eventually... a premium subscription tier.
This is all true, by the way. I am hopefully going to be doing a members-only
I'm already considering the potential
at some point.
I'm already considering the potential for a members-only Discord and eventually a premium membership, which will allow you to support...
Good old Dr. Pepper. Yes, I'm drinking Dr. Pepper.
I'm already considering the potential for a members-only Discord and
my drink of choice for the day.
I'm already considering the potential for a members-only Discord and eventually a premium membership, which will allow you to support my hobby content.
Nearly there.
I'm already considering a... This one's not going very well. I'm already considering the potential for a members-only Discord as well as a...
Here, I think, is the one. Okay, so we've got... Yep, a whole minute of content there to cut out because I just could not get that one single line right. It's just crashed again. I swear it doesn't normally crash ever, really. It's just because I'm streaming at the same time. It doesn't know what to do. It's crapping itself.
Final TikTok version. And there you have it. $5 a month to support me and my content, and in return, a modest selection of benefits. And that list of benefits is only going to keep growing.
There, okay. So I remember exactly where I cut it, so it's not too much of a problem. And we went up to about 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Yep, there. You can see on the waveform exactly where the speech stops and starts. Okay, so there we go. A whole minute out of the video. And we are nearly done with the editing of the video itself here, and then we'll move on to the adding in the music and the graphics and all that kind of stuff.
And that list of benefits is only going to keep growing.
I need to cut that bit out there. I don't know how clearly you can see it because it is quite small, but there's a tiny little bit of an eye movement there that I want to get rid of. I don't want to show I don't want you to see me looking over at the script. So we'll cut it just there before my eyes move. I like to try and keep that kind of stuff to an absolute minimum. I don't want you to... In the final edited version, I don't want you to see me looking around or looking at my script and stuff like that. I want it to be nice and smooth, just talking to the camera. So hopefully this will now have gotten rid of that.
Growing. I'm already
That's quite a jarring cut though, so I'm not sure.
It's only going to keep growing. I'm already considering the potential for a members-only Discord.
I guess that's not too bad actually. Let's move back a little bit further and try again.
And that list of benefits is only going to keep growing. I'm already considering the potential for a members-only Discord, and eventually a premium membership which will allow you to support my broader hobby content and have a more direct say in what goes on in my videos.
I think that went quite well. That edit was quite good. We got a couple of questions coming in, so I'll just go and answer those. Someone asked, am I an AI? No, I'm a real person. Definitely not an AI. William said Saul is a lad's name. No, it's not. Saul's my name. Tom says, will my voice change in the future? With a little bit of voice training, yes, it will eventually. I'm working on it, but I'm not comfortable showing off my feminine voice just yet, so requests will be denied. It won't be happening today. Thank you for your questions. Zay says, how am I showing a screen GUI? So I'm actually streaming from my computer right now. You can, if you want to stream from your computer, you can download TikTok Live Studio, and it just works exactly the same as like OBS or Streamlabs or whatever other streaming platforms. So it allows me to do my screen capture, my mic capture, camera, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, very useful tool that allows you to stream on TikTok from your desktop. So yeah, recommend. Tom says, I thought voice changed from drugs. So for trans men, it does. The way that the pitch of your voice is controlled by how tight your vocal cords are. So when you go through male puberty, testosterone loosens those cords, and that's why your voice gets deeper. So for trans men, when they take testosterone, it will loosen the cords and make their voices deeper. But for trans women, estrogen doesn't tighten the cords back up. Once they're loose, they stay loose. So for trans men, their voice will change with hormones, but for trans women, we have to do voice training. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so back to the editing. We're nearly there. I'm going to make a cut here just after I stop talking. My videos. That'll do. If all this sounds rather intriguing, you know what to do. Head over to Patreon using the link in my bio for a 7-day free trial. If you don't like it, don't pay. Okay, that was a good take, but I feel I got the line wrong, and I don't like getting the lines wrong. Even if it sounds good, I like to be as close to the script as possible, because that's just how I do things. So I did a second take where I got the line a little bit more accurate. Okay, let's have a look at that. In what goes on in my videos. If all this sounds rather intriguing, you know what to do. Head over to Patreon using the link in my bio for a 7-day free trial. Thank you. Okay, and that's it. There's a little bit extra at the end here, but that's an exclusive for the Patreons. Again, if you want to see this little bit of footage here, you'll have to go and follow me on Patreon, because that's where I'll be uploading the uncut footage of this video tomorrow. But in terms of the TikTok version, that is the end of the video. For a 7-day free trial. Thank you. Ooh, might need a little bit more dead air at the end there. We don't want to cut it off the instant that I stop talking. We want a little bit of a buffer at the end. Thank you. See, that might be a bit too long. That's long enough to the point of awkwardness, so we'll cut that back a tiny bit. 7-day free trial. Thank you. That's the one. So you can see now the video is 1 minute 30 long, down from 4 minutes. So we've cut a hell of a lot of content there. We've reduced the length of the video a ton. I'm going to watch it all back one more time just to see that it's edited together nicely, and then we'll move on to the next step, which is the extra elements, the background music, the graphics, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, we definitely need a less abrupt, a more abrupt start as well, so we'll shorten the beginning just a tad. Yeah, dead air on TikTok videos, I like to try and avoid as much dead air as possible, unless it's a deliberate thing. Sometimes I deliberately leave an awkward silence in there for comedic effect. But generally speaking, you should start talking the instant the video starts, and the video should end the instant you stop talking. People don't want to see a full second of silence before and after you talk, right? So it needs to be right in there. I started a Patreon.
I started a Patreon.
That's good. I think that works. Save before we do anything else. Okay, so, as I say, I'll watch the whole thing through one more time.
I started a Patreon.
There is going to be something in that gap.
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my capitalist urges and sponge money from my followers. For just $5 a month, you can now become a member of my Patreon and provide direct financial support for me to continue making the videos that I love. But what's in it for you?
Definitely need a cut there.
That I love.
Ooh. A very unflattering frame to pause on there. There's a lot of that. I find editing videos really shows you. It's very humbling because you always pause on these really awkward frames, and it really shows you a side of yourself that you never knew existed.
What?
Like, oh, this is. These ones aren't so bad, but you'll see. You'll see as I go through that occasionally you just come across a frame and you think, "Oh my god, that's just terrible."
But what's in it for you?
Okay, we'll cut just as I move my finger there. And then we'll cut back in again here.
But what's in it for you? First and foremost...
Oh, no. Hold on a minute. That was a way too quick of a cut. Unfortunately, I put my finger down a little bit too soon there, but I'm going to have to keep it in just because we need that little bit of a pause there.
But what's in it for you? First and foremost, you'll be supporting what I do.
Better. I think maybe a tiny bit more. We'll zoom in a little bit. Do this incrementally. Let's try that.
But what's in it for you? First and foremost, you'll be...
Okay, I think that is the one.
But what's in it for you? First and foremost, you'll be supporting what I do, and satisfaction is its own reward, right?
See, like here, this one, this is a deliberate awkward pause.
Its own reward, right? Fine, I'll give you a shout out on TikTok Live.
Could have been a little bit longer, really. I could have hammed it up a little bit more and just made that pause a little bit more awkward. But I think that's
its own reward, right? Fine, I'll give you a shout out on TikTok Live. Speaking of TikTok Live, you'll also gain immediate access to my back catalogue of past live streams. Every single stream, in its entirety, in one handy playlist.
Okay, and obviously because I've adjusted some of these clips, I'll need to now bring these other ones over.
Entirety in one handy playlist. Of course, the biggest benefit to you as a supporter will be exclusive behind-the-scenes access, offering you a...
New Guardian 28 says, hello,
sneak peek into every stage of the production process. Writing, recording, editing, you'll see it all, along with raw, uncut footage of every single video uploaded simultaneously with the final TikTok version. And there you have it. $5 a month to support me and my content, and in return, a modest selection of benefits. And that list of benefits is...
New Guardian followed, thank you very much.
Only going to keep growing. I'm already considering the potential for a members-only...
Munzel asked, what's your graphics card? Just 1 second, and I will let you know.
And eventually a premium membership which will allow you to support my broader hobby content and have a more direct say in what goes on in my videos. If all this sounds rather intriguing, you know what to do. Head over to Patreon using the link in my bio for a 7-day free trial. Thank you.
Okay, there we go. We got the footage. I think that is A-OK. So we'll move on to the audio in a second, the background music. Andy asks, I'm on the Dr. Pepper, what happened to the Iron Brew? I like to mix it up. I don't like to drink the same stuff every day. I have a wide palate. Sometimes it's Iron Brew, sometimes it's Dr. Pepper, sometimes it's a nice Fanta Lemon. Depends how I'm feeling. But today it's Dr. Pepper. Okay, so Munzel asked, what is my graphics card? I believe... it's a GTX 1050 Ti, but I will have to look that up to double check. I'll just get up system information here. Or does it not say under system information? Just a second, I will find out for you. GTX 1050 Ti. Yeah, it is a so it's a NVIDIA. It's an NVIDIA GTX 1050 Ti graphics card. It's 3 gigabytes. I did actually order a 4 gigabyte graphics card, so this is a refurbished PC. It was built from, second-hand parts. But it is fantastic. I got it from Bedrock Computers. If you are in the UK and you want a cheap gaming PC, Bedrock do refurbished PCs. It cost me £450, which is a fantastic price for a gaming PC. It works wonderfully. Like I say, I would have preferred a 4 gigabyte graphics card, but unfortunately they didn't have any available when I placed my order. And they said, you can wait till next month and we can give you 4 gigabytes, or we can just give you the 3 gigabyte version and send you it now. And I didn't really want to wait an extra month, so I just went ahead and got the 3 gigabyte version. Yeah, it's not perfect. Obviously, a 4 gigabyte one would have been better for gaming, but it works very well. It's not failed me yet. I've had this PC for just over 2 years, and I've never had a single problem with it. And I play quite a lot of high-end games. I play, No Man's Sky is probably the biggest graphically that I play. I play Train Simulator, SnowRunner. SnowRunner's the most recent one, isn't it? So yeah, lots of fairly high-end games, and it runs them all very well. So I honestly can't complain. Bedrock Computers, yeah. So Bedrock is where I got it from. Savage Gaming says Bedrock are con artists. Not in my experience. If you've had a negative experience with them, I'm sorry to hear that. But I am a customer of theirs, and I've recommended them to friends. I've got a couple of friends who have also bought computers from them, and I've not heard any complaints. In my experience and in their experience, they've been pretty good. Like I say, the only slight problem was they didn't have the exact graphics card that I wanted, but they told me about that beforehand. They didn't, just send me the wrong part. They sent me an email that said, look, we don't have the graphics card you ordered. Do you want to wait a month, or do you want us to find an alternative? And I agreed to go with the alternative. So yeah, in my experience, again, they've been very good, and the price is amazing. Like for a good as new gaming PC, £450 is a really good price, right? So yeah, like I say, me personally, I would recommend them. Munzel asks, any experience with PC Specialist? No, I don't actually. So I am really, despite having a degree in computer science, I'm not really that up to speed with computer building. I've never tried to build my own PC or anything like that, and I've not really looked too much into PC building sites. When I got it, it was basically I wanted a gaming PC straight away at a low price, and Bedrock was there, and so I went with Bedrock. So I don't have much experience with other PC building sites. I've definitely never tried to build my own PC. Maybe I think I'd like to one day, but it's also quite a risky thing to do if you don't have the experience, because parts are very expensive, and if you make one wrong move, you've completely destroyed it. So for now, I'm happy to stick with the refurbished pre-built PC that I've got. But yeah, big respects to people out there who do build their own PCs. I think it's a really cool thing to do, and a lot of my friends are also into gaming and have done their own PC builds. It's just not something that I really dare to attempt, to be quite honest. But maybe one day. So anyway, let's get back to the video editing. So one thing that I need to do before we add in the music is I've got a little bit of a video here, which I ripped from YouTube. It's a video of Mr. Krabs from the hit cartoon show SpongeBob SquarePants, saying "I like money," because I thought it'd be a funny thing to add in here. The second that I set up a Patreon, I knew I was going to get people in my comments saying, "Oh, you're just trying to get money, or you're just in this to make a buck," So I thought I'd lead into it and play off it a little bit and add in a humorous clip here as a joke, which is what I'm doing here. So we're going to cut this in between these two voice clips here. A Patreon.
Hello, I like money.
Okay, so we'll make a cut here. And I'm probably going to overdub it a little bit as well to so that they actually say Patreon in the clip. But you get what I'm going for. Trust the process. The vision will come together in the end. Okay, let's see how that looks. And I will probably cut it down a little bit further, actually. We'll see how it looks. Started a Patreon. Here we go. I started a Patreon.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to build a second Krusty Krab right next door to the original?
Money.
Yes, I finally decided. Okay, I think that works. I will cut this down a tiny little bit. It might seem like a little bit awkward right now, but once I've edited together with the background music, again, trust the process. It'll all come together in the end. Gareth asks what sort of content is going to be on the Patreon. So basically this is the Patreon is going to be behind the scenes stuff. So I want to show you the editing process. I want to share like first drafts and stuff like that, uncut footage, scripts before I've recorded and all that kind of stuff. Just basically give you a little insight into what goes on behind the scenes. That's all I really can offer at the minute, but hopefully down the line there will be other benefits. But for now, I just thought, what's the perfect thing to offer in exchange for $5 a month, right? And I think the best thing is, that behind the scenes look. It gives you a little bit more of a more intimate look at how the process works and how I put my videos together. So yeah, stuff like this is the kind of stuff that you'll be seeing if you do choose to support me on Patreon. Thank you for asking. And once again, there is also a 7-day free trial, so if you want to, if you're not sure whether you want to commit to $5 a month, you can, do the free trial, see what sort of stuff I upload for the first week, and then decide if it's for you, right? Okay. Anyway, let's just watch this back one more time. I started a Patreon.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to build a second Krusty Krab right next door to the original?
Money.
Yes, I find. Okay, and the music's going to come in just after that Mr. Krabs clip, which will make it a little bit less awkward. You'll see in a moment. But one thing that I do need to overdub is here in the middle when he says,
"Build a second Krusty Krab right next door to the original."
Okay, so I'm going to overdub that with me starting a Patreon, right? So I'm going to copy this clip from the beginning. Just move that out of the way for a sec because we don't want the sound interfering. I started. Okay, so I just want to isolate the words start and Patreon. I started. Yeah, that's good. Oh no. Okay. Started a Patreon. Okay, this one needs the started needs a tiny bit more of a cut, and this is one of those things where I want it to be badly edited. Like for the bit, I want this particular little bit of the clip to deliberately sound edited. So if it sounds awkward, that's good. That's what I'm going for.
Start a Patreon.
That's good. That's good.
Start a Patreon.
Maybe a tiny bit less there. Oh.
Start a Patreon.
Okay, I think that's it.
What inspired you to...
Okay, then we're going to cut it here. We're going to insert this start line.
build...
Start.
you to build
Start
a
a
second
Patreon.
Krusty Krab right next door to the original?
Okay, bear with me. I'm going to slice it again here. And then we're going to mute this middle section. So it's just the overdubbing. And hopefully this'll pay off. Here we go. Let's watch the whole thing.
I started a Patreon.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to...
Start a Patreon.
Okay,
Money.
I think that works.
Yes, I finally did.
It froze a tiny bit in the middle there, so I'm going to play that back one more time. But I think we hit the nail on the head there.
I started a Patreon.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to...
Start a Patreon.
Money.
Okay, maybe we need to cut a little bit of the silence there as well. Let's try that.
What inspired you to...
Start a Patreon.
Money.
Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, bring all of this back in now. One more time.
I started a Patreon.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to...
Start a Patreon.
Money.
Yes,
Yeah.
I finally
Okay.
decided.
That's it. We've hit the jackpot there. So, pretty much all that's left now is the music, the background music, and there's a couple of other minor graphical elements that I want to add in. So, the music that I've chosen for this video is "Can't Buy Me Love" by the Beatles. I try to choose like appropriate music for my videos, and I thought because this video is about me starting a Patreon, a song about money would be appropriate. So we've got "Can't Buy Me Love" here. I'm going to straight away turn the volume to half. I might have to go down further than that, we'll see. And I will also have to cut this slightly as well, because we don't necessarily want the whole song. You can see here at the top, the song is a lot longer than the video itself, so we're going to have to choose what specific part of the song we want. You might be wondering why I don't add in the sound on TikTok, because most people add in a TikTok sound over the video. Unfortunately, TikTok doesn't really offer the kind of control that I want with the audio. They do offer the ability to start the audio and end it at any time in the clip. But there's a few other features that they don't offer. For example, the fading the audio in and out is not very easy to do. You can only have audio from one song, and as you've seen in some of my other videos, I often use multiple pieces of music in one video. Just stuff like that. You can't stop and start a song again. You can only use one clip of audio that starts and ends at whichever time. So to have a bit more control over the background music, it's easier for me to add it in myself while I'm in the editing process. So that's why I'm not doing this bit through TikTok.
Money.
Yes, I finally
Okay, okay. So we need to isolate the audio from this as well. This is actually technically a video, which is why it covers my face there. So we just need to isolate the audio from that. And get rid of the video portion. Takes it a second to actually separate. There we go. And also you can see there's a bit of silence here at the beginning that we're going to want to cut out. And hopefully...
Money.
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my capitalist urges and sponge money.
Definitely needs turning down a little bit, but I think that's the perfect time for it to come in. We'll try 0.2 volume.
Money. Money.
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my capitalist urges and sponge money from my followers. For just $5 a month, you can now become a member of my Patreon and provide direct financial support for me to continue making the videos that I love.
Although,
What?
actually, I might cut out the "Can't Buy Me Love" at the beginning. I might start from the first verse.
Followers. For just $5 a month, you can now become a member of my Patreon.
Yeah, I might start from there instead.
Now become a member of my Patreon.
Let's try that.
Money.
Yes, I finally
Mind you,
Money.
Yes, I finally
no, I think it's better if we start off from the actual start of the song, now that I've heard it back like that.
Money.
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my capitalist
Yeah, we're
urges
definitely
and
better off
sponge
going
money
from the
from
start.
my followers. For just $5 a month, you can now become a member of my Patreon and provide direct financial support for me to continue making the videos that I love. But what's in it for you? First and foremost, you'll be supporting what I do, and satisfaction is its own reward, right?
Okay, this is perfect, because I wanted to add a pause in the music here, and there is a pause in the backing beat here, which is perfect for it. There.
Own reward, right?
There. Let's try that.
Reward, right?
Go back a bit further.
And satisfaction is its own reward, right? Fine, I'll give you a shout out on TikTok Live. Speaking of TikTok Live, you'll also gain immediate
Okay, I
access.
think that works. Maybe the when the music comes back in could be a tiny bit later. Let's try again.
Satisfaction is its own reward, right? Fine, I'll give you a shout out on TikTok Live. Speaking of TikTok Live, you'll also gain immediate.
Or could I make the break after that drum beat? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure where I should actually make the break.
Out on TikTok Live. Speaking of.
Because I feel like that beat should be on the end of that clip.
Fine.
Yeah, I think we'll stitch it back together, and we'll make the cut ever so slightly to the right after that drum beat. Let's try that.
Fine, I'll give you a shout.
Yeah, okay. That sounds a bit better, I think.
Own reward, right? Fine, I'll give you a shout out on TikTok Live. Speaking of TikTok Live, you'll also gain immediate access. Out on TikTok Live. Speaking of.
Could I cut out the much for money?
Speaking of.
I don't know. I don't really want to cut out any of the actual song, but I feel like it works a bit better if I do. Let's just see how that sounds. Big Croc fan says nice Woma cosplay. Who's Woma?
Action is its own reward, right? Fine, I'll give you a shout out on TikTok Live. Speaking of TikTok Live, you'll also.
Yeah, I think that works better actually. We have technically cut three words out of the song, but I think it works better that way. Let's hear it one more time.
Reward, right? Fine, I'll give you a shout out on TikTok Live. Speaking of TikTok Live, you'll also gain immediate access to my back catalogue of past live streams. Every single stream in its entirety in one handy playlist. Of course, the biggest benefit to you as a supporter will be exclusive behind-the-scenes access, offering you a sneak peek into every stage of the production process. Writing, recording, editing, you'll see it all, along with raw, uncut footage of every single video uploaded simultaneously with the final TikTok version. And there you have it. $5 a month to support me and my content, and in return a modest selection of benefits. And that list of benefits is only going to keep growing. I'm already considering the potential for a members-only Discord, and eventually a premium membership which will allow you to support my broader hobby content and have a more direct say in what goes on in my videos. If all this sounds rather...
This is what I was talking about earlier, though, with the adding the audio on TikTok. Like, this break here would not be possible in TikTok. It's not possible to add in a sound and, like, stop it and then start it again. So I wouldn't be able to add in this awkward pause there that I wanted to add. So again, that just shows you why I prefer to add the sound in my editing software rather than doing that through TikTok. Noah says, hi. Hi, Noah. Welcome. Okay,
intriguing.
The video itself is almost over, but the song carries on for quite a lot longer, so we're going to have to fade it out. I just need to find the perfect moment to do that.
You know what to do. Head over to Patreon using the link in my bio for a 7-day free trial. Thank you.
It's actually just so happens to be right on the instrumental solo, so that's a perfect opportunity for me to fade out the music there.
Rather intriguing, you know what to do. Head over to Patreon using the link in my bio for a 7-day free trial. Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll, I think, cut it here. Luke says hello. Hi, Luke. Yeah, so we'll cut it there. Another thing that I like to do is the sound should continue just a tiny bit after the video's ended. So you go to a black screen, and then there's like another second or so of audio, which you can see here.
Thank you.
Perfect. And then if we fade that out, hopefully, volume, end of clip, fade out slow. Let's see how that sounds. Nope. See, one complaint that I have about OpenShot is that it tends to do that. What I'll have to do instead is slice the clip in two, and then on the second clip do fade out entire clip. Okay, and the start volume needs to be 0.2, and the fade needs to be constant. The fade needs to be linear, sorry. No, you see, it's doing the same thing again here. We need this to be 0.2. There we go. Hopefully that works.
Head over to Patreon using the link in my bio for a 7-day free trial. Thank you.
Not bad. Maybe the fade could be a little bit longer. I might make the fade last for the entire instrumental section. So I'll just have to go back a little bit until these clips stitch back together. Come on. One more. One more. One more. One more. There, no, one more. Please. Please. There we go, they're back together. Okay. Bimmer Power says, bro, your setup is sick. Thanks very much. I might get a chance to show you my whole setup later on. But yes, for now. Lee asks, is that a farming simulator game setup I see? Yes, it is. I've got a steering wheel here, as you can see. And I've got the side panel here with all the controls, and I've actually got foot pedals underneath as well. And if I pan the camera a tiny bit, I've also got a flashing beacon light there for Farming Sim. I play a lot of Farming Sim, Euro Truck Sim, all those kind of heavy driving games. and this wheel's perfect for them. I've also used it to play a few racing games, although obviously it's not really designed for that. It's not a racing wheel, but I have played a bit of Burnout Paradise with it, which was a very unusual experience, shall we say. But yeah, I've had this. I got this at the same time as the computer, actually. When I sort of went on a bit of a shopping spree and got the whole setup in one go. I got the computer, the steering wheel, a new monitor, keyboard, peripherals. I just got all of it in one go. And yeah, it's been doing good so far. The only slight complaint I have is with the stick on the side panel. Has a couple of problems. It's sort of, I think I've just been grabbing it too hard. It's a little bit flimsy. But apart from that, no complaints. It's worked perfectly for me for these last couple of years. Bimmer Power asks, what is my PC spec? So my PC is 32 gig RAM. It's got a 3 gigabyte graphics card, NVIDIA GTX 1050 Ti. The processor is, I will have to check my system specs because I always forget. i5 6500 Intel, that is, 3.2 gigahertz. That's the processor. It's got 2 terabytes of storage, so enough space for plenty of games, although more than half of that storage is taken up by Train Simulator because I have a lot of DLC for Train Simulator. But yeah, those are the specs. Again, had it for about 2 years, bought it refurbished from Bedrock PCs, and no complaints with it, no problems at all. Okay, back to the video. So I'm going to edit the audio clip to the beginning of the instrumental. If all this sounds rather... There. Right after the scream. This sounds rather intriguing. You can hear a little bit of a scream there. I think that might be Paul. If all this sounds... Could be John. I don't know. I'm not a Beatles expert. It's one of them. My videos. If all this sounds... Okay, so there, after the scream, that's where I'm going to cut it. Keep both sides. It's Ringo, says Mikey. Okay, fair enough. So just after Ringo's scream is where we're going to cut it. And then we'll do the fade out. So the whole instrumental will be one long fade out, and hopefully that'll sound a little bit more cohesive. Let's try it. My videos. If all this sounds... Oh. Videos. If all this sounds rather intriguing, you know what to do. Head over to Patreon using the link in my bio for a 7-day free trial. Thank you. Not bad. I'm still not 100% satisfied with it, to be honest. I think we'll move it a tiny bit more to the right. I think the problem there is that it cut out just a bit too quickly. It got too quiet while I was still talking. So if we make the cut just a second or so further along. If all this sounds rather intriguing... There. Hi, my name's Mikey. Says I love the Beatles. I'm quite a big Beatles fan as well. Like I say, not an expert, but a fan. Oh no, I've accidentally adjusted the wrong clip there. Oh, we got a new follower. It's Frankie Lee. Thank you, Frankie, for joining, and thanks for following. Okay, let's try that. Videos. If all this sounds rather intriguing, you know what to do. Oh, I've just realised there's actually no sound on this this side. I forgot to edit it back in. I'm going to have to do another sound check of the whole thing afterwards, obviously, but that should be okay. How long does it take in average to edit your vids? Usually a couple of hours for a longer vid. For one like this, it's not usually that long, maybe an hour or so, because I've basically just got to sync the audio and the video and add in some background music, and that's done. Obviously, it's taking a little bit longer because I'm on stream and I'm answering questions and stuff like that. But if I was just doing this on my own, this video would probably take an hour or so. For a longer video with more edits and more complicated stuff in it, a couple of hours. But obviously, if you add in the time it takes to actually record and then make the graphics and stuff like that, it does get a lot longer. But the actual physical editing itself, an hour or two. Okay, so let's hear this back.
My videos. If all this sounds rather intriguing...
Try that again.
If all this sounds rather intriguing, you know what to do. Head over to Patreon using the link in my bio for a 7-day free trial. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm still not happy with that. This also is one thing that makes it take a lot longer, is when I'm just not quite happy with it. When it's like, it's good enough, but I just want to tweak it just a little bit more. That adds on so much time to the editing, you know, and I'm sure anyone else who edits video can attest to that. You always get it where it's like, it's good enough, but it could just be just a little bit better, right? You know, if I spend another half an hour and do it all again, I could get it just a little bit closer to perfection. I'm sure, you know, many people will have will know what I'm talking about there.
Sounds rather intriguing, you know what to do.
Let's try there, maybe. One more time.
My videos. If all this sounds rather intriguing, you know what to do. Head over to
there. I think we're going to go there. Okay. 0 on that side. 0.2 on this side. And the result.
If all this sounds rather intriguing, you know what to do. Head over to Patreon using the link in my bio for a 7-day free trial. Thank you.
That's the one. That is definitely the one. It fades out at exactly the right pace. There's a tiny little bit of audio after the video itself finishes. I think I'm very happy with that. Let's just play it back one more time.
What goes on in my videos? If all this sounds rather intriguing, you know what to do. Head over to Patreon using the link in my bio for a 7-day free trial. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we got it there. I'm going to listen to it all one more time, and then there's just a couple of minor graphical elements that I want to add in, and we are pretty much done with this video. So let's hear the whole thing again.
I started a Patreon.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to
Start a Patreon.
Money.
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my capitalist urges and sponge money from my followers. For just $5 a month, you can now become a member of my Patreon and provide direct financial support for me to continue making the videos that I love. But what's in it for you? First and foremost, you'll be supporting what I do, and satisfaction is its own reward, right? Fine, I'll give you a shout out on TikTok Live. Speaking of TikTok Live, you'll also gain immediate access to my back catalogue of past live streams. Every single stream, in its entirety, in one handy playlist. Of course, the biggest benefit to you as a supporter...
A little bit of a pause there while it was mid-render. Sometimes it does that. Just rewind and listen again.
In one handy playlist. Of course, the biggest benefit to you as a supporter will be exclusive behind-the-scenes access, offering you a sneak peek into every stage of the production process. Writing, recording, editing, you'll see it all, along with raw, uncut footage of every single video uploaded simultaneously with the final TikTok version. And there you have it. $5 a month to support me and my content, and in return, a modest selection of benefits. And that list of benefits is only going to keep growing. I'm already considering the potential for a members-only Discord, and eventually a premium membership which will allow you to support my broader hobby content and have a more direct say in what goes on in my videos. If all this sounds rather intriguing, you know what to do. Head over to Patreon using the link in my bio for a 7-day...
Another bit of a bug there.
You know what to do. Head over to Patreon using the link in my bio for a 7-day free trial. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's pretty good. The pacing's right, the pauses are exactly the length that they need to be. We got a couple of humorous bits in there with the awkward pauses and the overdubbing. I think that's come together quite nicely. There's just a couple of little bits that I want to add. one of which is the music credit. Obviously, if you've watched any of my recent videos, I've started putting music credits on screen in all of my videos, so I've got a credit here that I want to introduce. It's actually in 3 separate parts, and you'll see why in a minute. So here's the music credit as it appears on screen, but because OpenShot doesn't really offer too much in the way of animation, I kind of have to improvise a little bit. So I've actually split it into 3 parts. We've got the black bar here, which is going to zoom into the screen from the left-hand side. Then we have the text, which is going to fade in on top of that after the bar's moved in, like so. And then we have both of them together. That's going to fade out at the end. So we'll just try and put all that together real quick. Oh, please don't crash again. It's going to crash again. Oh, it hasn't crashed. Good. Boomer Power, have I tried drifting with that wheel? So, yeah, I've played a bit, like I say, I've played a bit of Burnout Paradise with it. It's obviously not designed for racing. It's designed like for heavy machinery, like tractors and trucks and stuff like that. But I was curious if it would actually be compatible with certain racing games, and Burnout Paradise is one of my favourite racing games, favourite driving games of all time. So I tried it out. It worked. The pedals work, the steering wheel works, and I drove around, in Burnout Paradise in a sports car with this wheel. It was a very strange experience. Definitely not suited to that kind of game. But fun all the same, and I did do a fair bit of drifting in that. Okay, so first thing we need to do is figure out how slowly or quickly we want this zoom in to happen.
Yes, I finally decided to embrace...
Let's just try it like that for now. We'll keep it at the same length that it is. So if we go to animate here, we can do entire clip, edge to center, left to center, and then that should come zooming in from the edge of the screen here.
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my capital...
Okay, a bit fast.
Yes, I finally decided to...
So obviously we want to slow that down a little bit. And the other thing that we'll need to do is add in a static, non-animated version at the end. Again, this is one of those things where it might seem a little bit convoluted, but when you see the result, you'll see what I'm trying to get at here. What's the app called? This is called OpenShot. It's completely free. It's quite limited, as I was saying earlier. It's not, like the most sophisticated editing software of all time. But I don't really need anything that sophisticated. For what I do is mostly simple edits, syncing audio and that kind of stuff. This does the job for me. Like I say, it's called OpenShot, and it is entirely free of charge if you want to give it a try. Okay, so we'll try and animate this one. Let's see how that looks.
Money.
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my capitalist urges and spun...
Okay, I think that speed is a little bit better. What I'm going to do is just cut it here, just before it peeks onto the screen. And we'll see how that looks.
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my...
Okay, I think that is it. There's going to be a tiny little bit of a delay at the beginning, just because I don't want it to appear instantly. Oh.
Yes, I finally decided...
No, go back.
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my...
I think that's it. I think that's the one.
Money.
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my cap...
Yeah, that's good, that's good. Do I have a dual monitor setup? I actually have a tri-monitor setup. So, obviously, you can see right now the screen that I'm sharing is my main screen. That's in front of me. If I pan a little bit, you can see I've got my second screen here, which is what I've got TikTok Live open. And down here, I've actually got a third, a very small monitor on top of my side panel.
this is really cool. It doesn't quite live up to its potential yet, but what I want to eventually do is, be able to run when I'm playing like Farming Sim or Euro Truck, for example. I want to be able to have like a pop-out cab monitor kind of thing. There are tools on Euro Truck that allow you to do that. You can have like your sat nav on a separate screen from the game itself. So that'd be really cool to do, would be to have my sat nav on the mini screen. But at the minute, it kind of just sits there and doesn't really do much. But yeah, that is technically a third monitor, and it's very small, but a third monitor all the same. Okay, so Sideclips asks, do I do this for work? Not at the moment. Maybe one day, who knows? It depends how successfully this Patreon goes down, really. But at the minute, I'm just doing it because I enjoy it, and because it is quite fun. It might be tedious and time-consuming to make the videos and edit them together, but it's fun to actually get them out there and see people's reactions and talk to people about stuff. It's fun. It's fun. Anyway, back to it.
Money!
Yes, I finally decided to... So we're going to have the text fade in here at the beginning. Am I a video editor, or what do I specialise in? So I don't have any professional experience with video editing. It's entirely self-taught, which is why I'm not the fastest in the world. I'm still like learning the ropes and stuff like that. My education is actually in game design, computer programming. So I can code in C#, C++, Unity, Unreal engines, stuff like that. That's what my focus of study was at university. Not just the actual physical programming side of it, but coming up with game ideas and game testing and all that kind of stuff, like sort of the holistic game development experience. That's what I suppose trained in. That's what I'm educated in, and that's kind of my dream job would be to work for a game development studio. That's sort of my eventual goal. So yeah, this is not a professional thing. It's just something that I do on the side at the moment. But it's a lot of fun, and it's a learning experience, which is always great. Munzel said, with Bedrock are all the computers refurbished? Yes, so all the computers are refurbished. You can fully customize them. Again, fair warning, if they might not have the exact parts that are listed on the website. They try to keep it updated, but obviously it's quite a small business. If you look on the website and there's a part that's not available and you choose it, they'll email you to let you know, and they'll say, look, we can wait until it's available, or we can substitute it for a different part. In my case, the graphics card that I ordered wasn't available, so they asked me if I wanted to wait or if I wanted to use an alternative card, and I chose to go with the alternative card. So just something to bear in mind, if they don't have the parts available, they will try and work with you to come up with a solution. And if you want to wait until they do have the parts available, then that's an option as well. But yeah, on the whole, like I say, it's been a good experience. They've been very helpful. I say they've been very helpful. I haven't really spoken to them since I bought the PC because I haven't had any issues with it. But during the ordering process and the assembly process, they were very good. They kept in contact. They kept me up to date with the progress of it all. So yeah, highly recommend. Great place to get refurbished PCs, and the price is amazing as well. I don't have like $2,000 to fork out for a brand new gaming PC. £450 was bad enough, right? But still, an amazing price for a gaming PC, right? How long did it take from order to delivery? I honestly can't remember. I think it was only about a week or something like that. Again, it kind of depends on the availability of parts. If they don't have a part and you absolutely insist on them waiting for it to become available, then it will take a bit longer. But as far as I remember, it can't have been more than like a week or two. It was a very fast turnaround. So yeah, they you might have to check the website and see what they say about it, because
like I say, it was 2 years ago. I honestly can't remember exactly how long it took, but it was very quick. I do remember it was only like a week or two. Bimmer Power, I may buy a PC from there because my PC now is outdated. Yeah, I mean, this one kind of is too as well, even though it's, you know, it's 2 years old, but it's also made of refurbished parts, so the parts in it, some of them are a few years old as well. It's kind of a blessing and a curse that computers move so quickly because we're constantly getting better and better technology, but it also means that you buy something and it's out of date in a few months, which is a shame. I'm not too bothered about being absolutely top of the line, like keeping up with every single development and stuff like that. But it is, you know, it's a reality for people who use PCs, who game on PCs. You know, when you buy a PC, it's not going to be the most up to date for very long. Which is, you know, when you buy a PC, it's not going to be the most up to date for very long. Which is, you know, that's just how it goes. Okay, let's get back to the video because we are very close to finishing now.
Money!
Yes, I finally decided. Yes, I finally decided to embrace.
Oh, we didn't actually add the fade there, so we need to fade in the text at the beginning. We'll do a fast fade.
Money!
Yes, I finally.
Money!
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my capitalist urges and sponge money from my followers.
I think that looks good.
Sponge money from my followers.
Oh yeah, if it looks like it's bugging, that's the open shot. It's not perfect. It does have a few kinks. Again, it doesn't really bother me because it's free, so I'm not going to complain about bugs in a free software. It does have the occasional freeze, but usually it doesn't end up too bad. Usually it's not. It doesn't result in a crash most of the time.
And sponge money from my followers. For just.
Okay, so I'm going to start the fade out here. Do I plan to publish this today on TikTok? So this video is actually for tomorrow. My current schedule is that I do one stream and then one video, and I alternate between days. So like Monday a stream, Tuesday a video, Wednesday stream, Thursday video, Friday stream, Saturday video. That's the schedule that I'm trying to keep at the moment. What a great frame to pause on again, by the way. So yeah, this video that I'm editing now is actually going to go on TikTok tomorrow.
From my followers. For just $5 a month, you can now become a member.
Okay, so we'll have the fade out to about here. And this time we're going to set fade out to entire clip. And we'll just watch that back.
Money!
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my capitalist urges and sponge money from my followers. For just $5 a month, you can now become a member of my Patreon and provide.
And there we go, there's our music credit. Just watch that back one more time.
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my capitalist urges and sponge money from my followers. For just $5 a month, you can now become a member of my Patreon and provide.
There we go. Looks good. Bimmer asks, what's the Patreon for? The Patreon's for this. So it's for this TikTok channel, to support the videos that I make. Obviously, as I say, I aim to upload 3 videos a week. I talk about a lot of trans issues. I do a lot of trans-focused videos, but I also do videos about my hobbies, such as piano, Lego. I plan to do videos about model railways, coins, all that kind of stuff. I basically want it to be a representation of me, right, and every sort of aspect of my life, all the things I'm interested in. So that's what the TikTok is about, and the Patreon is basically for people who like the TikTok and want to give me a little bit of financial support for it. And if you do join, this is the kind of content that will be on Patreon only. It's all the like behind the scenes stuff, the editing, the raw footage and stuff like that. That's what I'll be offering as a benefit to Patreon members, if that's something that you want to do. And of course, there is a 7-day free trial, so if you want to try it out and see if it's something that you are interested in, you can go ahead and do that as well. Okay, so I'm going to watch the whole video one more time. There are a couple more graphics that I need to add in, but we may end up saving them. I may do them off camera because it's just a couple of very minor edits. When does it start? It's actually live now. If you check out my bio here on TikTok, there's a link to the Patreon on there. You can go ahead and join right this very moment and get immediate access to my back catalogue of live streams. There will be a link on the page for members only that will take you to a YouTube playlist of all my previous live streams. And again, tomorrow at the same time as this video goes live on TikTok, the unedited version of this video will go on Patreon. So yeah, if you want to support, you can do it right now, and there will be plenty of content on its way. Okay, so let's watch it one more time. I started a Patreon.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to
Start a Patreon.
Money.
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my capitalist urges and sponge money from my followers. For just $5 a month, you can now become a member of my Patreon and provide direct financial support for me to continue making the videos that I love. But what's
That
in
looks
it?
good. I don't think we actually need to rewatch the whole thing because we've already done that. I just wanted to make sure that that edit was the music credit was good, and it seems to look quite good. We will do an export before I finish the stream, and we'll see the exported video and what that looks like. MLN asks what's going on the Patreon. Stuff like this. So the purpose of this live stream is to give you a bit of an idea of the kind of stuff that you'll see on Patreon. This behind the scenes, editing, sneak peeks at the scripts, the recording, all that kind of stuff. That's what's going to be on Patreon. And this is just to show you as an example, like you will see more videos like this one, or like more live streams like this one on Patreon if you choose to follow. So this is a freebie. This is a little taste test for you. Okay, so you can see at the top I've got a couple of graphics here that I want to insert, but I'm not exactly sure which ones are actually going to go on.
Followers. For just $5 a month, you can now...
Because I was going to put this here. I've got this screen grab of the Patreon page, but unfortunately, my music credits on screen at the same time. The moment that I say $5.
For just $5 a month...
That's where I wanted to put this, but it won't go there because I don't want to cover up the music credit. So I might see if I can put it somewhere else. Where's the link to Patreon? It should be on my TikTok page. I'll actually check on my phone to make sure that it is there. Yeah, so if you just click on my profile and go to my TikTok, at the bottom it should say patreon.com/Ashbridge Industries. And that should take you through to the Patreon. I'll also put the link in the comments, actually, just in case you want to access it through there. And if there's any issues with the with my bio, it might not have updated or whatever it might be. So I'll just copy this link. Okay, there's a link. So if you can't see it on my bio, that link will take you to the Patreon. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna need to try and find somewhere else to put this. I do mention the price again near the end, so that might be a good place to put it. Let's just go over here.
Recording, editing, you'll see it all, along with raw, uncut footage of every single video uploaded simultaneously with the final TikTok version. And there you have it.
Yeah, there it is.
Have it. $5 a month.
Okay, so it's going to go there. I've also got a bell sound effect. If you watch any of my previous, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that I use this specific sound effect quite a lot. I'm going to use it again here. It's the old bell ding.
And there you have it. $5 a month to support me and my content, and in return, a modest selection of benefits.
Okay, I think that is exactly what I wanted to do. Let's just watch it back again.
Version. And there you have it. $5 a month to support me and my content, and in return, a modest selection of benefits. And that list of benefits is only going to keep growing. I'm already considering the potential for a members-only Discord, and eventually a premium membership which will allow you to support my broader hobby content and have a more direct say in what goes on in my videos. If all this sounds rather intriguing, you know what to do. Head over to Patreon using the link in my bio for a 7-day free trial. Thank you.
I think that's pretty much it. There are a couple of other graphics, but I don't really need to put them in. Like, I was going to put the Patreon logo in there somewhere, but I don't think I really need to. And I did have another graphic here that just shows the Patreon page, but I don't think there's really any need for that either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and export this, and we'll see, hopefully, a fresh, fully edited video at the other side. Okay, here we go. Now, it'll take a while to process, so we'll just leave that going. In the meantime, if you want to ask any questions and stuff like that. Patreon logo would make it professional, to be honest. Yeah, I'm just not sure when I'd add it in, because the first time I say Patreon, it immediately cuts to the Mr. Krabs bit, and then the second time I say Patreon, the music credits on screen. So I might try and find somewhere in the video to fit it in. But just let's just take a look what it looks like without it for now, because I've already pressed export. But of course, even the export's not final. Like I say, I may come back after the stream and make a couple of tiny little tweaks to it off camera. But hopefully, you know, by watching today's stream, you've gotten a good idea of the kind of what goes into the editing process. You've got a kind of idea of what you can expect to see if you do join the Patreon. And yeah, hopefully it's been a fun experience for everyone. And as usual, once this little bit ends, I will probably switch over to my phone and do another hour's Q&A like I usually do, just to round things off. We'll see how people feel about that. Leon Coates says, make. I am making a video, yeah. We're on 34%, so about a third of the way done. Yeah, you're funny. Thanks, Leon. I try. I like to think that I'm a reasonably funny person. You know, I'm not exactly a comedian material, but, you know, I've been known to make people laugh on occasion. Mikey asks, is my wall black or dark grey? It's actually a very dark blue. You can't see it very well here. Sorry, hold on. I'm going to make a rather disgusting noise. Sorry about that. Yeah, so it's a very, very dark blue. It's like a royal blue sort of colour. It's really nice. I like blue. Not my favourite colour, but I do like a nice bit of blue, as you can see. I'm wearing blue today. But yeah, only that wall's blue. The rest of the room is white. So it's only got one blue wall. It's like the intention was for it to be a feature wall. You know, like when people paint one wall a specific colour and hang all their themed decorations and stuff on it. That was the intention. It doesn't actually have that much stuff on it, though. I might do a room tour later on in the Q&A portion. We'll see. Yeah, royal blue. And reference there to... what is it? Liar Liar. Liar Liar is the film, I think, that you were referencing. Okay, we're 72%, so we're getting there. We're nearly there.
in just a few moments I will show you the final, well, the almost final visit. Leon Coates says, "Shut it, there's a reason you aren't answering me." Maybe I could answer you if you asked me a question first. That's usually how it works. If you want to ask me a question, I will answer it. Just mute him. I want to see what he has to say first. We'll see what his question is, and then I may mute him. But yeah, once this is finished, I am going to end this little bit of the stream, but I will carry on my phone. What I normally do is I end the live stream, but then I start a new one because you can't like instantly switch over from computer to phone on TikTok Live, unfortunately. But if you do want to listen to the Q&A portion, then when this stream ends, please stick around for a few minutes because another stream will be starting to do the Q&A. Right. Mikey asks, do I have a favourite song at the moment? So usually the songs that I like are the songs that I'm learning. So you know, when I'm learning to play a song on the piano, I get really specifically into that song. At the minute, I'm learning a couple of songs by Billy Joel. I'm learning Vienna and She's Always a Woman to Me. If you've watched my most recent TikTok video where I was showing off my bridesmaid dress, I used Always a Woman in that video. So those are two songs that I'm learning on the piano at the minute, and obviously I like, when I'm learning a song on the piano, I like to listen to the real version of the song a lot as well to get a feel for it. So yeah, I would say not necessarily my favourite songs, but the songs that I'm listening to most at the minute are Vienna and Always a Woman, both by Billy Joel. So the export is done. We should now be able to see the completed video. Whether I play either of those on TikTok, by the way, I'm not sure yet. You might have noticed there's been a break in the piano videos recently. It's not the first time this has happened. What kind of happens is I do so many piano videos that I run out of things to play. Like I make videos faster than I can learn new songs. So it always ends up reaching a point where like there's no more piano videos for me to make because I need to learn some more music first. And I've kind of hit that wall again recently, so I'm currently in the process of learning a few new pieces. And once I've learned a few, the piano videos will be coming back. But yeah, I'll taking a little bit of a break from those while I catch up. Okay, anyway, the exported video, where would it have gone? There it is. Okay, so we are about to see the final video. And this... so this is the one that will be going live on TikTok tomorrow. Again, I might make a couple of minor edits in between. But this is what you're going to see on TikTok tomorrow. And the unedited version will go on Patreon at the same time. So here we go. I started a Patreon.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to
Start a Patreon.
Money.
Yes, I finally decided to embrace my capitalist urges and sponge money from my followers. For just $5 a month, you can now become a member of my Patreon and provide direct financial support. Oh, there was a little bit of an audio bug there. I don't know if you heard it. The music got louder for just a split second. Sponge money from my followers. For just $5... Okay, I'll have to go back and see what's causing that. My capitalist urges and sponge money from my followers. For just $5 a month, you can now become a member of my Patreon and provide direct financial support for me to continue making the videos that I love. But what's in it for you? First and foremost, you'll be supporting what I do, and satisfaction is its own reward, right? Fine, I'll give you a shout out on TikTok Live. Speaking of TikTok Live, you'll also gain immediate access to my back catalogue of past live streams, every single stream in its entirety in one handy playlist. Of course, the biggest benefit to you as a supporter will be exclusive behind-the-scenes access, offering you a sneak peek into every stage of the production process. Writing, recording, editing, you'll see it all, along with raw, uncut footage of every single video uploaded simultaneously with the final TikTok version. And there you have it. $5 a month to support me and my content, and in return a modest selection of benefits. And that list of benefits is only going to keep growing. I'm already considering the potential for a members-only Discord, and eventually a premium membership.
That cut there I think is a little bit jarring, but there's not really much I can do about it.
I'm already considering the potentials, and that list of benefits is only going to keep growing.
Yeah, that's quite a jarring cut there.
Only going to keep growing. I'm already
but I don't have an alternative take to use for that, so unfortunately that's going to have to remain.
Considering the potential for a members-only Discord, and eventually a premium membership which will allow you to support my broader hobby content and have a more direct say in what goes on in my videos.
Did I say $5? Yes. So the basic recommended level for a entry tier on Patreon is $5, which is about £4.50 if you're in the UK. I thought it was best to just stick to like the recommended price. I didn't want to go too high or too low. This is the $5 is just what Patreon recommends to new members to set their tiers at. So that's what I went with. But it's $5 a month.
Benefits. And that list of benefits is only going to keep growing. I'm already considering the potential for a members-only Discord, and eventually a premium membership which will allow you to support my broader hobby content and have a more direct say in what goes on in my videos. If all this sounds rather intriguing, you know what to do.
Am I from America? No, I'm from the UK, but Patreon is from America. So all the money on the Patreon side is handled in dollars. If you go to Patreon in the UK, it will say the price of the tier, will be in GBP. But then when you actually pay it, on like all the transactions and stuff, it will be measured in dollars. So I set the tier as $5, and then Patreon translates it to GBP. But yeah, I myself am not American, but Patreon is.
Head over to Patreon using the link in my bio for a 7-day free trial. Thank you.
Okay. Seems good to me. There's just one very slight issue. For some reason, the audio got louder somewhere in the middle there. But it doesn't look like the audio of the clip actually changes, so that might have been an export error, so probably just exporting it again will solve that. Sometimes that happens, you get like minor visual or audio bugs in the export, even if that bug isn't in the edit itself.
Followers for just $5.
But it was here. So if you listen to this
for just $5 a month,
the volume doesn't change.
Followers for just $5 a month, you can.
But then in the export, the volume and that line got a little bit louder. So again, I think that was just an export issue. Exporting again should solve it. So that's what I'm going to do. We're not going to hang around and watch this export this time though. Because it is 5 o'clock, so it is time to bring this portion of the stream to a close. I'm going to bring myself back to full screen. There we are, just a second. There I am. Okay, so that is going to be it for this portion of the stream. Hopefully you've gotten a little bit of a feel for what sort of content you can expect to see. Sorry. Hopefully you got a bit of a feel for what kind of content you can expect to see if you do decide to follow me on Patreon. This is going to be the kind of stuff that's on there, all that behind the scenes stuff. I want to show you, the coming up with ideas, writing the scripts, recording the audio and video, and of course the edits. All that kind of stuff, all that behind the scenes stuff, that is what I'm offering on Patreon. In terms of Other benefits, as I mentioned, you will get a shout out here on TikTok Live, and you'll also get access to my TikTok Live archive on YouTube, and you'll get to see all of my other previous live streams in their entirety. Other benefits may be coming in the future. I do want to have a Discord, but I can't manage a Discord by myself because I've got too much on my plate as it is. But yeah, we will try at some point to get set up with a Discord if I can build up a big enough community to be able to get people to manage that for me. But that will be further down the line. And the other thing that I want to offer is at some point there will be a premium membership. So the base membership obviously is $5 a month, and that supports my trans-focused content specifically. If you go on Patreon right now, you'll see that it's called the trans tier. So that's the basic tier of support. But eventually I'm planning on adding a premium tier, which is going to be called the trains tier. And that tier is going to be to support my hobby content, which is going to include, trains, Lego, spiders, coins, all the other things that I'm interested in that cost a lot of money. If you want to support that kind of content, if you want to specifically donate money towards my hobbies and interests, then there will eventually be a premium tier for you to be able to do that. But for now, it's just the base tier. It's $5 a month, £4.50 if you live in the UK. If you are not sure about it, if you're on the fence, then please head over there anyway and check it out. There is a 7-day free trial, which means for 1 week you will get to see all of the behind-the-scenes content, etc., and decide if it's something that interests you. And then if it is, at the end of the week, you can pay for the membership, and if it's not, then you can go about your day and you haven't lost any money. So yeah, that's going to be all. Thank you for joining. This stream is technically ending, but the live is going to continue. I'm going to end this stream and I'm going to be back in just a couple of minutes on my phone. So it's more like a pause in the stream. If you want to ask questions and join in the Q&A part of the stream, then please stick around. I will be back in 2 minutes. But this portion of the stream is over. So if this is all you were here for, then thank you for joining. Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to join you in 2 minutes on my phone. So again, if you want to stick around, please do. If you don't, then goodbye.